Hello everyone. In last videos we have understood the steps which shall be followed by the government for the purpose of acquisition of land. So in this video we are going to understand one more concept under the determination of award, that is Solatium and dispute resolution and appeal. So let us start from understanding the concept of Solatium. So, Section 30 of the Land Acquisition Act 2013 deals with the award of Solatium. Solatium is a compensatory amount paid to the landowner over and above the market value of the land as a kind of consolation or acknowledgement of emotional loss for having to give up their land involuntarily. So, it is an amount paid by the government over and above the market value of the land, so as to emotional loss of the affected families, as they have given their land involuntarily for the public purpose. So let us understand how the amount of Solatium is calculated. So the Solatium amount of 100% of the compensation determined under Section 26, the market value, plus Section 28, damages, etc., is to be paid. And landowners must also get an additional 12% per year on the market value of the land from the date of SIA notification is published till the award is given or possession is taken, whichever comes first. So, suppose, let's say, according to Section 26, the market value of the land is 10 lakhs. So, to this, under Section 28, any damages caused to the land shall also be included. So, for example, the damages comes to an amount of rupees 5 lakhs. So, the total will be 15 lakhs. There is one more point which states that an additional 12% interest per year shall be paid on the market value of the land. So, for suppose the SIA notification, that is the Social Impact Assessment notification, is published in the year 2023. So, the final declaration or the possession of the land is taken in the year 2025. So, January 2023, the notification was issued, and in the year 2025 January, the land was taken away by the government. So, there is a delay of 2 years from the issuance of notification to the acquisition of the land. So, for this 2-year delay period also, an interest amount shall be paid by the government. So, the interest rate is calculated 12% on the market value of the land. So, in our example, the market value of the land is rupees 10 lakhs. So, 12% on 10 lakhs would be 1,20,000. So, per year. So, here for 1 year it is 1,20,000. So, here there is a delay of 2 years. So, the amount would be 2,40,000. So, this is the interest rate for the delay caused by the government. So, here in total the Solatium would be 10 lakhs the market value plus 5 lakhs, that is any damages caused to the land, plus the delay, that is 2,40,000. So this comes to an amount of 17,40,000. So this total is 17,40,000. So Solatium is the 100% of the compensation. So the compensation is 17,40,000. So 100% would be 17,40,000 plus 17,40,000. So that comes to an amount of 34,80,000. So this is the final amount or the Solatium which shall be paid by the government to the affected families. So this is the method by which Solatium is calculated. And the last concept in Land Acquisition Act 2013 is dispute resolution and appeal. The Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Authority. So, the new act, the Right to Fair Compensation and Transparency in Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013 has created an authority which shall which shall resolve the disputes arising out of the land acquisition process. So, it has established an authority called as the Land Acquisition Rehabilitation and Resettlement Authority. So, the appropriate government, the central government or the state government, for the purpose of providing speedy disposal of disputes relating to land acquisition, compensation, rehabilitation, and resettlement, establish by notification one or more authorities to be known as the Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation, and Resettlement Authority. So, in the old act, the civil courts has to resolve the disputes arising out of the land acquisition, but the new act has created a new authority for the speedy disposal of any disputes arising out of the land acquisition, compensation, and rehabilitation and resettlement disputes. So, the authorities shall consist of one person known as the presiding officer. So, the presiding officer shall be either a district judge or he is a qualified legal practitioner for not less than 7 years. So, the qualifications to be appointed as a presiding officer, the person shall be or he has been a judge, a district judge, or he shall be a lawyer or a legal practitioner for at least 7 years. And the presiding officer shall be appointed by the appropriate government. So, the appropriate government shall take the advice or consultation of the Chief Justice of the High Court. The presiding officer shall hold the office for a term of 3 years or until he attains the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. So either the period shall be 3 years or until the presiding officer attains the age of 65 years. So the powers and functions of the Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Authority are: the authority is granted with civil court powers for purpose of its functions such as summoning witnesses, handling documents, taking affidavits, reviewing its own orders, issuing commissions, etc. So the authority have all those powers which a civil court have. But this does not mean that the authority shall be bound to the procedure laid down in the Code of Civil Procedure. So it shall only be guided on the principles of natural justice. So the authority, the Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Authority, is not bound to follow the principles laid down under the CPC, but it shall follow the principles of natural justice. So every affected person under Section 64 has the right to seek reference to the land acquisition. So Section 64 of the Act provides that any person affected by the orders passed by the collector or any dissatisfaction in the procedure followed by the government, it shall seek reference to the authority. So the Rehabilitation and Resettlement Authority, if they are not satisfied with the collector's award, a person can request reference if they are dissatisfied on the following grounds. So on only these grounds, the affected persons can approach the authority. So if any person is dissatisfied with how the land is measured or the amount of compensation, persons to whom the amount is payable, or apportionment of compensation, rehabilitation and resettlement entitlements. So only on these grounds the affected persons can approach the authority. Jurisdiction of civil courts. No civil court other than the High Courts under Article 226 and the Supreme Court under Article 227 shall have the jurisdiction to entertain any disputes relating to land acquisition. So the powers of civil courts are removed by the new Act and it is transferred to the authority, that is the Rehabilitation and Resettlement Authority. Payment of compensation or deposit of the same in authority. On making an award under Section 30, the collector shall tender payment of the compensation awarded by him to the persons interested entitled thereto according to the award and shall pay it to them by depositing in their bank accounts unless prevented by someone or more of the contingencies mentioned in subsection 2. So, after determining the award under Section 30, that is the final award, including the Solatium, so the collector shall make the payments through the bank accounts of the owners of the lands. So, if the persons entitled to the compensation shall not consent to receive it, or if there be no person competent to alienate the land, or if there be any dispute to the title to receive the compensation, or as to the apportionment of it, collector shall deposit the amount of the compensation in the authority to which a reference under section 64 would be submitted. So, in all these cases, that is where the owner of the land does not consent to take the award, or there is any dispute on the title of the land, or there is no competent person to alienate the land, or in the apportionment of the award, in all these cases, the collector shall deposit the amount in the authority, that is the Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Authority. So, the authority, after resolving the dispute, will transfer the amounts to the appropriate persons. So, this is all about the right to fair compensation and transparency in the Land Acquisition, Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act 2013, and I hope you all have understood it. Thank you.